Howdy, partners! Dehancer reached out to me and asked if I could review the product, and this is exactly what I'm supposed to do and what I will do now. This is unscripted, so I just took a few clips from my hard drives and we're going to take a look at Dehancer together. And even though Dehancer reached out to me, they were pretty honest and said, you can say whatever you want and there's nothing I have to do, so that's exactly what I do. First of all, let's start with a nice outside shot. I mean, the typical thing is this. I tried it before, and but this happens with all programs, so don't worry. We're at Dehancer and we're greeted with a green mess. If you're new to film emulations, this is absolutely normal because you have to change your source material, your gamma, your color space, etc. In my case, this is the DJI Ronin 48K. And it still looks a bit off, to be very honest. So let's play around with the knobs. I want a scene which is just a little bit HDR-like, warm, happy, but nice color separation and natural noise. So we have a huge list of film profiles to choose from. This is amazing. The only downside is it takes a while to find the right one. Just a little tip, if you click it once, afterwards you can just scroll with your mouse. Before that's not possible. Also, comparing different profiles is a little bit difficult, to be honest. Let's look. This takes some time, and as you see, it is not that convenient to scroll through so much, and while you do it, you forget how the ones before looked. So I typically don't do that. I don't scroll forever, because most of the films that are in there I never used Konica Impresa 50, you know, which might look cool, which actually does. I'm impressed. Well, this is cool. So you can be lucky. It's good that they're in there, but I'm mostly looking for films I kind of know. So, which is the Supra, the Vision 3, and the Gold. These are the three films I mostly look for because I know what I will get. And I kind of trust these films and I'm okay. And then I start tweaking because you can tweak as much as you want. So yeah, Kodak Gold. Portra. Have I used the Portra? I think so, yes, but also I have the Ilford for my middle format camera, which I don't know if it's in there. Yes, no. I have to check that. But maybe this is an idea for another video, to check the actual films I have at home with something digitally captured. Let me know in the comments or write me if this would be an interesting video for you. Then I go out and shoot something with film and with my digital camera and try to match it with Dehancer. Let me know if you like that. But for now, let's go Gold, just to get the video forward. So, okay, like I said, I want it warm. And balanced. You see, I have a lot of direct sunlight with which destroyed the contrast here, which is just too harsh. So let's go to the next module, the film developer. Okay, it's like a little bit of the density setting in DaVinci. I just wiggle around with the knobs, check out what they do and if I like it or not. Okay, this is a point where I think this is cool. Yeah. Film compression. Okay, this is my favorite module, to be honest. This is it. This is what I am looking for. A white point and black points and a contrast ratio that looks like film, and this is what it what is responsible for that, in my opinion. Because if I shoot film, I can tweak the colors anyway, whichever way I want, and make it super sterile and correct, or let the look of the film be present. You know what I mean? But I mean, yeah, this is it. This is it. A cool high-end roll of, beautiful. So yeah, I will turn that off for now. The rest of the thing is cool. Don't get me wrong. Also, the amount of grain and so on. But I think grain and halation are a thing I want to compare with another plugin later, because I think grain, halation, bloom, and so on, DaVinci has it inside already. Basically, all film emulations already have this, so I need to compare it to other plugins to make up my mind for it. Halation, yeah, let's add a bit, because why not? Blooming, you can see what is happening. Overall, I like the look so far very much. Film damage. Where is the damage? Huh. I don't know. I don't know where the damage is. Amount of jitter. Okay, it's jittering, maybe. Yeah, it's difficult to see. For some subtle effects, I love something like the lens node plugin did, which is you can expand the sliders. So they offer you, okay, a normal amount goes to 50, but if you want to go crazy, you can click a button and go to 300, for example, and make it really obvious, just for people like me who don't know what to expect and where to look, to see the exact amount of what I want. You know, maybe the total amount I like would be 60, but I don't know. I haven't even seen if this is what I want. So yeah, there was maybe too much halation. Let's roll it back. Bloom also. Yeah, that's cool. I save it for now. And now my question is, so far I like what I see. Also, there's gate weave, there's an overscan. It's all pretty cool. But I don't see it. What I'm doing wrong? Ah, enable. Ha! You know, you see the absolutely. That's cool. Okay. No, I like it. It instantly works. And doesn't make weird things like other solutions. Super 8. But what do I do now with the scale? I understand. Okay. What do you say? I mean, let me know in the comments, because I just take a look at it, try around a bit. Okay. But I'm impressed. It immediately accepted the resolution I chose. But let's try another thing, because sometimes the simulation of the gates fall apart if I choose another timeline's resolution. Okay, let's check that out. Let's go to 4K. Nothing happened. It just works. Ah, that's convenient. Flip. And it's on the top. Oh. Yeah, wonderful. It just works like it should. The only thing I would hope for is rotating it. Maybe I don't see it. Defocus is also a good idea. Wiggling of the gate is cool for film orientation. Yes, this is what I want. Perfect, beautiful. Something is cut out, but I can fix it with the scale, I think. Yes. Yeah, fantastic. Fantastic, great. It just works, but to a Super 8 gate belongs Super 8 grain and resolution. Because if you don't match this up, it's just super obvious that it's digital. Film grain, 8mm ISO. Okay, interesting. Maybe no. Let me look. I understand. Yeah, this is a little bit of a problem, you know. The resolution on film is very much linked to the grain sizes, which are not perfectly uniform. So this is a very complex thing to simulate. So I understand this is difficult, but let's compare this. ISO 50, you know, this would be on a 50 ASA film, the same grain size as on 8mm. But since it's such a tiny film size, you have to enlarge it way more. Meaning the size of the grain and must increase and the resolution must go down. Will this happen? Yeah, slightly. It's okay. 60mm, a bit better. This again would be a very cool video by itself. I have a Super 8 camera to film something on Super 8 and compare it inside DaVinci and Dehancer with real footage and this one. Wouldn't it be nice? Again, I hope you start a conversation with me about this video and say what you want to see, because I'm all here for you. So let's speak. Okay, I think this is a pretty romantic scene already. If I think this is something for a tourism agency or something, it's okay, it's nice. But there's also one problem I always see, but nobody talks about it. Maybe it's too obvious that everybody thinks there's no need to talk about it, but check this out. If we just add Dehancer, right, that was wrong on my side. If we just add Dehancer, like it is, you know, you're greeted with wrong colors, wrong everything, because how should Dehancer know what camera you use? It simply can't. So I often add my own color space transform, and this is the problem I always see, because I prepared something which is, this is just Dehancer. I already fixed a little bit of the colors and so on. It's not the look I created before, you know, but this is just Dehancer, minor tweaks just to get it right. And I chose the color transform on the input. And this is a problem manufacturers of cameras just don't fix, or they don't see the need to fix it, but it's so important, which is, let's check this out. If I change the Ronin 4D 8K to the 6K, different sensor, the colors are slightly different if you have used both cameras like I did, but it doesn't change here because they are maybe oriented around the original conversion LUTs. And the conversion LUTs the manufacturers offer, like Sony or everybody else, are just the mathematical transforming of the linear curve to the logarithmic curve and back, you know. But the sensor reproduction of the contrast and the colors is different on every sensor. Even on the same sensor with different processing, it's different. I used the Sony FX6 and the Sony A7S III with the same sensor, but the colors were very different. I always had a hard time to match them well. Of course it works, but it takes some time, which is crazy. So this alone is something I would love to see somebody fix outside of two person I found on the internet, which thought of the same. And on big movie sets, this is always a thing. Check out Roger Deakins' podcast where he talked to colorists that will make custom LUTs for the monitors, for the camera monitors, for everything, so that you can be sure what you shoot and how your colors will be at the end. But so far I have found only Joel Famularo who will match the final image quality, you know, the final colors to the color reproductions and gammas from ARRI cameras, which looks amazing, and Gerald Undone, who uses, I think, the Chroma du Monde chart to, you know, to have a target for the colors. Not just you get what you get with the sensor and you just transform the gamma around and nobody cares anymore about the colors. Let's let's let it stay like this before I talk too much. Okay, I prepared these few which show you the difference. This is just Dehancer with a built-in conversion. If I choose Dehancer but use for the color space transform Joel Famularo LUTs, it looks like this. If I use Gerald Undone's LUTs to go from log to Rec 709, it looks like this. And if I use Blackmagic's color space transform plus Dehancer with the same settings, it looks like this. You know, these are not worlds of differences. But if you look at the greens or the contrast, I think this is way more pleasing than this. And only Dehancer has more contrast, which you might like or don't. But have this in mind. Personally, I'm very specific with my color space transform. This is not a problem of Dehancer. I think it's the fault of the camera manufacturers. But if Dehancer would put the time in to tune the D-logs per camera to a target, the results of their film simulations would be even better. Because you have to think, you're not going from a perfect color accurate to this film stock. You go from something to this film stock. So these differences I showed you before will be the difference later too. So this is my critique when it comes to the color space transform, which seems to be the smallest thing you care about when you get a film simulation, but it's such an important thing to cover. Okay, now I have another camera to look at. Let's take this just because it's a raw recorded signal from the same camera. I don't know, what was it? I think ISO 640 and D-Log. Let's add Dehancer. Same thing as always with the transformation, but I will add one of my LUTs. Just because I know them best. Like I just explained, it's cool. Something like this, you know, Bavarian old locations with a lot of wood, or like this scene. This will be very interesting. These are the most difficult things to grade because it's so much orange and red and yellow. It's everything punched together in this little space of colors. Okay, let's switch a bit through. Oh, this is nice. Again, the Impreza 50. I think I found a new favorite film. I don't know. Color compression, my favorite thing. You see what I mean? It immediately goes from, okay, it sounds like a film emulation, to this is what I expect when I see a film. Yes, yeah, exactly this. For this alone, I really like Dehancer so far. It's super convenient also, and so far everything works. We have here the color heads. This is crazy. Okay, awesome. Because old film stocks, and if they needed to change colors, they didn't have as much tools as we had. They had the color heads and had a little bit to push around. That's fantastic. Awesome job. Great idea to put that into the program. Or app, like young people say. Ah, fantastic, yeah. Yeah, it just does what I think it does, which makes it for me easy. But let me know in the comments what you think of Dehancer or the tools that are in there. Is there something I forgot to talk about? I mean, film breath, gate weave, etc. These are cool, you know, but I don't need them so often. So I like that they add it. Yeah, it's always fun. I don't know. Maybe I'm too much of a child when it comes to features like this, but I love things having a look, you know. If you see it like this, it's like, oh, okay, that's a scene. People look, but I don't know. I like it. Let's jump to another scene, another camera. This time the Sony FX6. Same game as always. Sony S-Log3, FX. Oh, FX6 is missing. That is a shame. Just a second, I have it amongst the Joel Famolaro LUTs, which I totally recommend. Joel Famolaro LUTs and Gerald Undone LUTs. These are the first LUTs I would ever buy, because I bought so many LUTs. Some of them are just archived somewhere on a hard disk because I never use them. Too much of a look or too much of a hassle to push it around to fit to the scene you're in. But they just do a fantastic job converting, your log stuff into a nice looking Rec 709 that is always nice to work from. So yeah, Dehancer on there, greenish. To be honest, if you fabulous guys from Dehancer are watching this, maybe Vision 3 250D, maybe it's not the best film to show first, you know, because I'm always, when I put it on first, I'm like, oh, okay, green, okay, too much green. Something like this has so much more of a nice filmic look. Oh, let's go to my beloved gold 200. Better, more neutral. Yeah, there's so much. The Supra is something I really like. Yeah, just great. So, minor complaint, but I think people would be happy if it looks great out of the gate, or am I wrong? What do you think about it? Do you like if it turns up green and you push some buttons and it finally looks great, so you have the feeling of accomplishment that you make this look very good? Could be also cool and interesting way to look at that. But personally, I like getting a decent neutral look first and then jumping into the weird stuff, because then I'm not disencouraged of, oh my god, it just looks green. White point, down with the white point, down, put the white point down. Yeah. Yeah, this is what I want. Color film compression, the best thing in there. Okay, is there something left you want to see? I think we had super difficult. Everything is yellowish orange tones. We had a outside scene with a lot of green. Now we have a stage lit scene. Let me know in the comments what you want to see. I do my very best to show you something that will maybe help you to decide if this is a plugin that you would like, or if it's not the right thing for you, which is also totally acceptable. There aren't any products on the market that are perfect for every situation and every person, so don't worry. Let's destroy this. There are always some little tweaks I like to make too. You see the hotspot on her forehead? I personally would love to bring that down a bit without destroying the rest. And sometimes I need to push the white again towards the knee. But yeah, let's leave it like this. You have seen what the Dehancer can do. And before I destroy it completely, this was how it looked. Now let's check out in comparison what other solutions could do. So this was the conversion. Now I'll take film convert. I edit bluish. Okay. Bluish, but not green magenta shifty like the other thing. But I mean the game of going through a full list of film stocks, this is something, you know, I think nobody can save you from, except shooting on film, so that you know, okay, I know this film very much, I can trust it. In comparison, you see, there are not as many film stocks on film convert nitrate. The other things, like Emulation, I mean, it has everything, but this This looks a bit much, to be honest. But like I said, sometimes overdoing things is nice to find the point where you want to go. So to do this and say, oh, too much, too much, too much, too less. To find your middle thing. I like it when knobs go further than they need to, because it helps on the decision making. Saturation, I don't like so much saturation in this. Black point, white points. Yeah. As you see, film convert is more not more. It's less. It has less features, less film stocks. Doesn't look bad. If I turn up a little bit, this and that. Let's be honest. I didn't give it so much time like before. So don't be mad at the film convert people. They also did a great job. Okay, let's save it. Let's go back to this. For me, it's the film compression. The film compression lets it look way more like film to me, to be honest. This is amazing. So let's check this out. But let's go to another thing. What do we have more? We have the DaVinci film simulation. Let's do this. Because it is built in, so it's always a thing everybody should try first, to be honest. Check out if you really need it. If you're happy with what you have, don't let anybody tell you that you have to buy something. And I'm mistaken, but this is a cool starting point. So well done, Film Look Creator and DaVinci, to be honest. Also a bit too green for my taste as a starting point. And only 5 film looks, as they call it. This very greenish tones, not so much to choose from. So while I liked on the other plugins that there are so many things in the list that it's hard to choose from, it's here the other way around, that I don't quite find the thing where I say, okay, I know what kind of film it is. I don't. Which maybe has to do with name rights. I don't know. Maybe somebody could tell it. So let's play around with this a bit. Overall, I think the starting point was very cool. I have a feeling that the other plugins were a bit more to play around with, to get to a point like this where I say, it's almost there, but it's not quite what I want. And, okay, crazy. The richness slider, or I mean the other tools like the density, which is built in, is cool. Yeah, the halation is a thing I don't like from the DaVinci version. It is so subtle. It is I'm always struggling to say, okay, this is now. You see it right on the forehead, but it's always like on the verge of, where is it? Now you can see it more if I turn off highlights only, but this destroys the purpose a bit of having the right threshold for the halation. It's like, do everything or do not enough. So it has some problems in my opinion. Adding some bloom. But it doesn't look bad. I mean, you see it. Let's compare the 3 we had. This is DaVinci, basically for free if you have DaVinci. This was film convert nitrate. Let's make it a bit warmer so it's a little bit of a fairer comparison, like this. Okay, DaVinci. Film convert. I think they nailed the halation better. And yeah, then this looks like more like film, to be honest. Okay, it's time to sum it up. I think I wasted enough time of you, but I think those points were important to show you, because some of the parts I wish somebody told me when I was looking for film emulations. Is Dehancer cool and worth to buy? Absolutely, yes. Is it the only plugin that does the job? No, of course not. But I think it has some unique features that are maybe underrated, like the film compression. I think for me, that is very important. I have so much time that I wasted with fine-tuning the curve to get this film compression outside of an app or in DaVinci itself. It was super fast to achieve here. So yeah, I think it's cool and it's worth to have. And I feel a little bit stupid because I avoided buying the Dehancer plugin because of its price. And now that I think of the amount of LUTs and power grades I bought for 50 euros, for 100 euros, etc., I could have saved the money easily, because the power grades that come with also gates and so on, they are not as reliable. I showed you can easily change resolutions and everything works right away. And that is why I was so, oh wow, it works, okay, crazy. Because I'm used to applying the power grade and everything looks strange and weird, just because I use another resolution as they intended when they made the power grade. So yes, Dehancer is cool. Thank you, Dehancer, for reaching out for me to letting me check out this program. I have a coupon code for you, so I think after such a long video you earned it. It's THEBOMMEL. I write it also in the description and so on. Yeah, let me know if you have any further questions. It was quite a ride, and thank you so much for watching, and subscribe. I will make more videos with Dehancer. Like I said, I have a few analog cameras, and maybe I could compare something filming with one of my digital cameras and with the analog and make them match. Would this be cool? Write it in the comments, please. See you later. Thank you very much for watching, and bye-bye.